Hello everyone, this is Mara from Raklet here. I just wanted to give you a brief overview on our platform. So what Raklet is a software that has a couple of features and modules that you can use for your organization, your association, your club, and anything that you can think of. I am going to give you a brief overview on the demo account that we have, including some of the features. And if you have any questions, you can just reach out to us and we would be happy to help you out. So let's start. I am going to show you the demo account from an incognito window first, and after that, after I'm logged in. Let's start from the top. We have your URL here, your organization name, which is demo at the moment, .raklet.com. And this can change. You can remove the Raklet name if you want to, and for example, you can make it members.myorganisationname.com. It's possible. So under that, we have a place for your logo, which you can upload. On the left-hand side, we have the navigation, where we list all of your boards and pages. In here, we have the feed. So whenever you post something, it will appear here with a chronological order. And as you can see, this content is behind the membership wall. So I either need to log in or become a member to see what is inside. If I click on the login button, it is going to take me to the login page where I can sign in with my email if I'm already on the contact database. I can also decide to sign in with my Facebook, Google, or LinkedIn account. If I am not a member yet, I can just click on the Become a Member button and go to the application form, which is a highly customizable form. You can ask pretty much any question that you want. Also, if you have your own terms and agreement, your own privacy policy, you can just list them in here. And your members can fill out this form and apply to become a member. And you can choose to automatically approve everyone who fills out this form, or you can just go to a manual application approval process and you can approve your new members that way. So let's see what happens if I am logged in then member account. As you can see, I am logged in as Michael Jordan. So let's go to my profile. These are the main fields that I have on my profile. I have a profile picture, a name, and a professional title. I can see my education, membership, tags, and other. I can also see my communication information. If I go to edit, I can edit the main member card. If I go to settings, there are a couple of more options, like my first name, last name, professional title, about, language, gender, birth date, and profile visibility. I can choose to display or not to display my profile in terms of privacy. I also have social network, and I can choose again to display, for example, only my work information or only my education information. If I'm looking for a job, I can mark myself as I'm looking for this job tag. I can turn on and off my private messaging. If I do not want to, for example, receive any private messages, I can just turn it off. I can also change my SMS and email preferences. We have more than 60 profile fields about a member, from their first name to last name to education information to work information and even their blood type. And if you're looking for something specific that we do not have, you can also create a custom field for that. I can also see on my profile the boards that I'm subscribed to. These are the boards that I'm subscribed to, and I can see my notification schedule and I can change it anytime. So let's go back to home page and let's see some of the modules that we have. Let's start with membership. So membership is pretty easy to manage from the admin side and from the member side. This is how it looks like from the member side. I have a couple of membership plans. For example, I have a standard membership and I have an annual membership. Each membership plan comes with a digital membership card that you're seeing on screen. Again, these cards are customizable. You can change the fonts and colors and the background color, etc. And you can choose which fields to display on this card. For example, if you do not have an expiration date, you can just remove this field. And we have your member's profile picture, your logo, and some main information. We also have a QR code that you can use to, for example, check people in at the door for events, or you can just scan this QR code and read to this member's profile and see whether they paid for their membership or not. I can add this card to my Apple Wallet. I can also download it as an image. And if I download it as an image, I can also print it as a physical card. So these are the payments and invoices that I have for my plans. If I click on them, I can see the details. This is the invoice that I have. I can see the details. I can see my membership fee. I can see how much of the total that I paid, and I can customize this as an admin. If I want to, for example, add an additional message, it is possible. So let's go back. If I want to subscribe to a new membership, all I need to do is hit that button here, and I can choose from the options on the drop down. As you can see, we have a couple of different membership plans. These plans can be yearly, they can be monthly, or they can be one time. And not all of the membership plans have to be paid. You can also have free memberships. So let's choose the free plan, for example. I also have a registration fee. So the form comes up with a credit card form. And as soon as I fill out this credit card form and agree to terms and agreement, I am going to start my membership. And if I am on a paid plan, the system will ask me to consent to automatic membership renewal. So I won't have to worry about remembering my membership or my payments or my dues every year. The system is going to charge me automatically every year. And as an admin, you can set up automatic debt reminders 5 days, 10 days before the payment, saying, hey, your yearly payment is coming up, so please be aware that. And if the member forgets to pay, or if they do not have enough balance in their account, you can also send again automatic emails after the payment date if the payment is not done, saying, hey, you forgot to pay for your membership. If you continue not paying, this and that may happen. And this and that being canceling their membership and freezing their account, or you can just leave their account as is. It depends on how you want to operate in here. So let's move to events. What you can do on Raklet is that you can host physical events in physical venues, or you can host online events. It purely depends on you. As a member, as a web visitor, I can see your upcoming events in a list view. I can also see your past events. And if I want to view this in a calendar view, I can also switch to that. So let's go back to list view, and let's go back to Fundraising Europe, for example. What I have here is the title of the event. I can see where it is. I have an image in here, and I have the details. On the right hand side, you can see a couple of different ticket types that we have. Ticket types can vary as well as their pricing, and you can create different ticket types for different members or non-members. For example, you can only create a ticket for premium membership only for your members, which means all of the members, or you can just create a ticket for public. Or you can create multiple tickets for public, multiple tickets for example, members, etc. And again, the prices may vary. You can also create free tickets just to keep track of attendance, because what we have is we have event check-in at the door with the digital cards and the event ticket that I just showed you. So you can just scan this QR code with the free Raklet app we have that is on both AppStore and Play Store, and check people in automatically. Or if this is an online event, for example, in Zoom, you can use our Zoom integration, and everyone that clicks on the link is going to be checked in automatically. So since this is in a physical venue, I get the map and I can get directions. If this were an online event, I would get the URL in here. Under that, we have the calendar, so I can add this event to my calendar and get notified beforehand. I can also see who else is attending. For example, I can see Michael Jordan is attending, I can see Hilal is attending to this event, etc. This can be turned off if you like. So what happens when I purchase the tickets? I purchase this premium members, let's say, and say register. So there comes a buyer form. I have the order summary and I have the buyer form. And since I have an account, these are automatically filled out. If you want to ask an additional question, for example, what is your meal preference? What is your expectation from this meeting? You can also add these questions to this buyer information form. And if you have a guest, for example, if you're purchasing more than one ticket, you can enter your guest information. You can view your billing information, or you can add notes to the vendor. Once I fill out these fields, I will go to the credit card form again. And once I fill out this credit card form, I am going to have a ticket, which I can see from my tickets tab. For example, I have this €28 ticket, and it looks like this. Again, I have the summary in here, including the pricing, and I have the QR code here that I can use to check in automatically at door. So let's go to homepage and move on to the other. We have campaigns. So campaigns are a great way to raise donations if you are looking for something like this. We have 2 campaigns in here. Let's go to Cat Rescue Club. So I have the title for this project, I have an image, and I have the details. And I can see who backed this project, for example. I can see Abraham Wright backed this project. But I can also see, or also be, an anonymous user if I do not want to display my name. And I can see how much is collected, and I can see my goal, and I can see how many people back this project. If I say support, then there will come a form. I can choose how much to donate to. For example, I'm going to choose 200 United States dollars. Let's go continue. And there will come up another credit card form. Again, I can fill this out and make the payment automatically. If I want to make donations regularly, I can just consent to regular donations, and I can choose to be anonymous. And as soon as I tick this as well, I'm going to make the payment, and I'm going to be a donor. As an admin, for example, if you want to send thank you messages to these donors, you can use our email module, which I'm going to show you in a second. So let's go back to homepage and let's move on to the other module that we have. The other module that we have is newsletters. So I just mentioned the email module that we have that you can use to send emails to your members, your newsletter subscribers, your donors, your event participants, anyone that you have information on this contact database. And as you can see, we have a couple of newsletters in here. I am interested in what is new in Raklet, for example. So you can put a header for this newsletter, and I can see the past newsletters that we put in here. I can choose to subscribe to this, so I will receive the new ones. And you can also put this newsletter behind the membership wall, as you can see right now. If I'm a paid member, if I choose a membership plan for to receive this newsletter, I can do that. You can also create free newsletters. I want to talk about the connections, and then I will move on to the admin panel. Connections is a place for your members to find each other and get in touch with each other, essentially. So what I have here is that I have the profiles of members who decided to show their profile on this member directory. For example, I can see Lydia Phillips, I can see her professional title, I can see her work and education information, because these are the parts that she consented to display. And I can send her a private message if I want. I can just say hi, for example, and send it to her. And she will be notified with an email saying, hey, you have one new message in your Raklet platform. She can also see these messages from her profile, from this messaging button in here. Also, she can see this from her mobile browser or the Raklet apps. Let's go back to the member directory. So again, these are the profiles that we have, and you can also sort them by first name, last name, updated, joined, etc. What we have here is that sponsors, companies, sectors, schools, and cities. These modules allow you to find people who have the same interests as you, or same, for example, city that you live in. Let's go to cities. So I can see we have a couple of cities in here, and this comes as a pie chart. For example, if I want to see who is living in Brooklyn, I can just click on it and see 3 people are living in there, including me. And these are my informations. And let's go to, for example, companies. I can see who is working in where. Again, this comes up with a pie chart. I can see who's working in Raklet, which are these 3 people again. And I can again see their profile. And these are the same with other modules. For example, if you create a tagging system to sort information that we do not have a field for example, their interests, people who are interested in tennis, people who are interested in cinema, in art, etc. You can just create a tagging system for that, and it will come up with a pie chart again. So you can find people who share your interest and get in touch with them. We also have a new feature that we just launched. It is a special member directory. What we have here is that from the admin side, you create a segment of people who have something in common. For example, people who are living in the United States and people who had the role volunteer. and you can create a directory for this specific group of people. And if I'm looking for a volunteer in the United States as a member, I can go to this directory and I can sort people by first name, last name, for example. I can also sort them by age, availability, their favorite color, etc. And I can see their profiles. You can choose how to create the segment, how to create this specific segment. You can also choose which filters can be used in here. Let's go back to the home page and move on to the other module that we have, which is discussion boards. Discussion boards is a feature that we have that is used so much because it gives you a space, it gives your members a space to connect, to talk about the topics that they want to talk about, and create, let's say, special groups. Because what you can have on these boards is that you can restrict it from other members. For example, you can restrict it to only subscribers, so only people who are subscribed to these boards will be able to see the content. Or you can just create a board for example, doctors in Tahiti, or you can just create a board for people who like Tesla cars. And what people can do here is that they can just create posts with a subject line and a body, and they can add a file. This can be an image, this can be a PDF, they can embed videos, and this is how it looks like when they do that. For example, we have a post called How the Posts Work. I have an image. I can see Michael Jordan posted this 7 months ago. This is the body, and you can see this. There is an attachment. I can see 1 people liked it and 14 people commented on it, which gives a discussion feature that we have, and I can again share it and follow it. There is no limitation on the number of discussion boards that you have. You can choose to create multiple boards for multiple people, and there is a page for you to see all of your boards that you are subscribed to on your profile. Like I showed you a couple of minutes ago, you can also have a page to list all of the boards that you created on your organization. So your members can log in, go to that page and see which board they're interested in, and they can subscribe to these boards. And they can just, let's say, unsubscribe to see the subscribe button. I can just subscribe to this board, and I can change my notification schedule. This notification schedule will send me an email with the new updates that we have on this board in my email inbox. So let's move on to the other module that we have, which is a career center. What we have here is 2 boards. One is for jobs and the other is for job seekers. Let's go to jobs. I can see a couple of postings in here. Yoga instructor, for example, digital marketer, software engineer. I can post a job myself with the position and the company name, job name, workplace type, etc. We have a couple of fields in here. If I'm looking for a job, I can also filter this. And when I click on a job, it looks like this. I have the title, I have the details, and I have the body. And I can see who posted this, so I can get in touch with them. And if I go back, I can see 2 are waiting for approval. Since I am an admin, since I logged into an admin account, I get to see the ones that are waiting for approval. As the admin, you can choose to approve or disapprove a posting. And if I am a person who is looking for a job, then what I can do is that I can put my profile on the job seekers page. So let's click on that. For example, I can see Michael Jackson is looking for a job. And if Michael Jackson had his education information and work information in his profile, then I could just easily see what he was doing. And if I'm looking for an employee, I can just get in touch with him. And as you can see, all of these people who are looking for a job share the same tag, which is looking for a job. It is highlighted. So I can see, I can surf between different profiles as an employer, and I can find my next employee that way as well. So again, these are the main points, the main features that we have from the member view. What we have in addition to that is the admin panel, which is a blue toolbar on the left hand side. If I click on the Raklet icon in there, it will take me to the dashboard. What is an admin panel? Admin panel is the place where you manage all of the things on this portal, for member profiles, to pages that you show, restrictions, payments, billing, anything that you can think of. So let's start with dashboard. What I have on the dashboard is a summary on what is going on my platform. I can see how many contacts that I have, my new applications, login activities, and if there are any missing information on member profiles. And this allows me to track interaction and engagement. If there are less logins, I can just send an email with a login link to all of my members with something like to catch their attention and to make them use this platform more. I can also see action logs, which is everything that has been done on this platform. If someone is tagged, if an email is sent, if there is a click, if there is a payment, so you can keep track of everything with these action logs. We have a more detailed report on action logs that you might want to take a look at. We also accumulate action logs of members on their profile. I also have the emails, SMS, membership events, and mobile user activities as well. So let's start with the contacts. Contacts, this is the contact database. This is the CRM that we have here. So contact database is a place for your members, your non-members, potential members, newsletter subscribers, donors, pretty much everyone that you want to keep the information of. So you can use it for that. And you can choose which fields to show on this contact database. For example, if I do not want to see maiden name, company name, and birthplace, and instead if I want to see, for example, country, I can just choose that without any problems. I can also create segments in this contact database. Segments are dynamic fields within this contact database. And how you create segments is that you are going to filters and you are going to choose a filter. For example, you are going to choose gender is male. And I'm going to say done. It is going to create a filter for me. I can see every male member that I have. And I can just save it as a segment. What it does is that whenever a new person matches these rules, whenever a new male comes, this segment is going to be updated automatically. For example, I have something called members in the United States, and there are 263 people there at the moment. If I have like 3 more applications, then it's going to be updated automatically. I don't have to do anything. And for example, if they are a part of an email that I'm sending, then I can just keep using this segment without having to do any edits on it manually. You can also book tag your members. You can export all of these people with the currently displayed columns or all of the columns. You can also choose to bulk delete everyone that is a male, for example. And if you already have a sheet with your member information, with their name and email address and anything that you can think of, you can just import their contacts. You can just import them from a file by uploading the file, or if you have, again, an Excel sheet, you can just copy and paste everyone. It will take a few minutes tops. You can also add members manually. This is the form for a person, like individuals. If you have a company account, you can also create company accounts. The cool thing about the company accounts is that you can add sub-accounts under that. For example, you can create a company account for Raklet, and I can add myself as a sub-member under that. So what I would have is a accumulated membership, and I can see who is working in where. And if I need to get in touch with someone, I can see their company account. Let's close this one, and let's move on to the emails. Our email designer is fairly simple to use. All you need to do is hit on the create a new email button, and it is going to give you a couple of options for recipients. One is segments, the dynamic fields that I was just talking about. The tags, if you have a tag, for example, you can use that, or you can just use an individual contact. Let's choose me for this example, and you can add a subject line, let's say test email. Also, you can have a couple of different email sender names. For example, if you have an email address for events and for donations and for membership, you can add them to the Raklet system, so the sender name would be different. If you are going to send emails about events, for example, you can just use your events email. Let's go to designer. Our designer is a drag and drop designer. Again, it is very simple to use. You can add images, you can add texts, You can also add like files and payments if you want to. If you already have a design, you can use that. For example, I can use my welcome design here. I can use, for example, my newsletter template. Again, you can create different templates here. Let's go to preview. And this is how my email looks like. You can add dynamic fields in here, so it would be customized for everyone. I can send a test email to myself, and if everything is working fine, I can send it to everyone. We also have some couple of more options in here. I was talking about automated emails, about debt reminders when I was talking about memberships. So what you have under emails is that these automatic emails. One of them is happy birthday. So if your member has a birthday information on their profile, you can just send it automatically. We also have some system automatic emails like email activation, set password, reset password, and everything that you're seeing in here. These are generated by Raklet. If you want to change the content of these emails, you can definitely do that. You can also create templates from here. And this is the newsletters part that we have. For example, we have what is new in Raklet, and I can see there are 20 subscribers, and I can see them by clicking on the subscribers. And if I want to, for example, add someone or filter that or turn it into a segment, I can also do that. So let's move on to SMS. SMS is a text message. It is very similar to emails. The only difference is that SMS format only allows you to have text in it. You cannot put in images or documents, for example. You can have text, and therefore you can have URLs. It is, again, the sender part is exactly the same with the emails. Let's choose all contacts, for example. And I'm going to go to next, to design. Again, if I have any templates, I can use that. If I want to add, for example, first name and say welcome, I can have that. And I'm going to preview this. And after that, I can send it to all of my members. So let's move on to the other module that we have, which is membership. Membership plan comes with a dashboard for you to see your membership activities like subscriptions, payments, invoices, and another chart for subscriptions. And you can just filter them like this. If you, for example, only want to see the standard membership statistics, you can also do that. And you can see the payments that are made from here. And you can keep track of that. If you're looking for something specific, you can search for that. If you want to add a payment for a member manually, it is also possible. You can see the scheduled payments, which are upcoming payments, if there are any. You can see members with debt. If you want to reach out to them, you can do that. If you want to add a debt, you can do that. And here we have the plans. As you can see, these are the couple of different membership plans that we have. Let me show you what other options that we have in here. Let's say test, and let's say test in here as well. Let's say I have a membership plan that is $100 per year. What I have is that a free text area for the membership fee. For example, I can just make it $87. And I have the interval in here. If I want it to be every year, I can just put a 1 in here. If I want to make it every 2 years, I can do that. If I want this to be every 2 months, every 3 months, every 6 months, it is also possible. I can also have like one-time plans, which means when I subscribe to this plan, I'm going to pay one time and that's going to be it, and there are no expiration dates. Let's move on with the 6 months plan. We have a couple of options in here. Public can choose and authenticated users can choose. The first one means this will be available on the application form upon application. The second one means it will be available on the membership page that I was showing you with the digital membership cards and a drop down. So why would we want to hide these ones? If you do not want your members to choose their membership plans upon application, for example, if you want to approve them first and then let them choose the membership plan, you can just turn this off for the application form. If you want everyone to choose a membership plan upon application but not on the membership page, you can just turn this off. You can choose what happens to an account if they do not pay. You can just leave their subscription as is, or you can cancel their subscription after giving them a grace period for, let's say, 30 days. And what happens if you cancel their subscription? You can freeze their account so they won't be able to log in. You can void their latest invoice so you won't have to keep track of the missing payments. And if you like, you can just renew on a specific date, for example, every 15th of the month. And if this is a yearly plan, that's going to give you a date and a month, let's say every January. These are automated reminders again. You can send automated reminders 10 days, 5 days before, same day, or after the payment date. And we already have a template for that. It is called Adapt Reminder. If you want to change this template, if you want to create your own, these are also possible. And if you have plan benefits, you can add them in here. Let's say cancel and let's move on to reminders. If there are any adapt reminders, you can see them on this page. For example, I can see Holden Norman received a premium membership reminder 10 days before. Oh, past due notice 10 days after. So I can see my reminders in here, and I can see my applications in here. If someone filled out the application form, their application is going to be in here. And if I say view details, I can see the details of their application. For example, I can see best as first name, last name, email address. I can see where she's from. I can see her answers, and I can, if I'm going to accept it, I can just click on the generate a member number button, which would generate a random member number for this person, and I can choose to approve them. If I do not want to approve their membership, I can just delete it. So let's go to settings. There are a couple of options in settings. One is the general settings. Again, you can choose to auto approve everyone. You can enable or disable the application form if you do not want to use an application form. For example, if you are accepting your new members with paper or mailing, you can just turn this off. You can also enable bank transfers, which would allow your members to pay via bank transfers. This is a place for you to customize your invoice, and you can choose your email notifications for application received and application approved. And we have coupons in here, so you can create different coupons for your membership plans. For example, if you have a policy that you are giving free membership plans to all university, all college students, you can just create a coupon for that. You can choose a discount amount, discount type, number of redemptions, and when it expires. So we have the application form in here. This is how it looks like on the back end. A title, text, footer, benefits, terms and agreements, and form fields. If you want to add more fields in here, if you want to ask more questions, you can just edit easily. Again, if you need a field that we do not have on this drop down, you can just create a custom field for that. And the data type can be pretty much anything from text to number, from float to boolean. And you can choose what is going to be the input type. For example, you can make it a single one. You can make it radio buttons. You can ask for members to upload a file. And you can choose a visibility. After they are filling out this field, what would happen to that field? And you can make them required or not required, and you can change their places by dragging and dropping. If you enable the application form and if you have a payment, either registration fee or membership fee, then as soon as your members fill out this, potential members fill out this application form, there will be a credit card form which they can fill out and they can make the payments. Again, this is the application form that we have. We have the digital card in here. This is where we customize the digital card. For example, if I want to change the background color to, let's say, green, I can just do that. Again, these are the fields that we have on the card. If you want to change anything, if you want to choose a different logo, if you want to, for example, change member name to member number or something else, you can do that. Let's move on to events. So I showed you a couple of events on our events page. You can see the upcoming events and the past events, published ones, unpublished ones. You can see the participants. Let's go to Finovate Europe. This is how it looks like on the back end. I can see who purchased the tickets. And if I want to, for example, export a list of my participants, I can do that. If I want to bulk tag everyone saying Finovate Europe participants, I can do that, which would allow me to send emails and SMS to these people easily. Let's close this one. I can go to my at the door page and I can again check people in by just clicking on this button if I want to do that manually, or I can scan their QR code. I can also see my event page once more, which was this one. And I can see my different ticket types. Again, I can create different ticket types. If I want to make any changes on that, I can do that. If I do not want to publish this anymore, I can just unpublish it. We have coupons for events. Again, if you have a specific discount for specific occasion, you can just create a discount coupon for that. And these are the event settings. So you can send email notifications to event registration, for example. And you can choose a template from the templates that we have on email. So let's move on to fundraising. It is very similar to events. I can see my campaign. If I click on edit, I will see their details. I can see the photo that I uploaded. I can see the donations that are made. I can see the payment modes. And I can see the donations that are made so far, which are these ones. Again, I can add the donation manually. If I'm looking for something specific, I can search it. If there are any scheduled donations, I can see them. And these are the fundraising settings that we have, for example, about the bank accounts. If you have different bank accounts for different purposes, for example, if you have a different bank account for membership and if you have a different bank account for fundraising, you can use different bank accounts on your Raklet profile. So let's move on to the social network. Social network is the place that we saw on the member view. This is the place where you manage your boards, your posts, your pages, your comments, anything that you can think of. So what's the difference between them? Boards are places for us to collect posts, like the volunteer board, the discussion board that I was just showing you. Boards are dynamic places. You can add more posts in them. Pages are static, so you can create a page, for example, about us, and it's going to be there unless you go to the social network and hit the edit button and change something on this page. You can make boards. You can have people contribute to boards, or you can just make it, for example, announcements, and only admins can post it. And again, you can see the visibility, posting, and commenting settings in here. Announcement boards is, for example, public, but only admins can post in it. Members can comment on that, but the commenting approval is required. And you can see boards plan for subscribers, only for plans only for admins, and only for admins to comment on. So if you want to, for example, create a space for your admins to talk about certain things, you can create a space for that. If you want your golden members to speak with each other, you can just create a space for that. Or you can just create spaces for different interests, and you can change all of the settings in here. These are the comments that were made. Again, these are approved, so you can choose to disapprove the comments. These are the pages that we have. Let me show you an example. For example, we have the About Us page in here, and this is how it looks like. I have a title, the text, and what I can do here is that we have a couple of header options, as well as coding options. We have rich text elements in here. I can choose the alignment. I can turn this into a HTML coding. If you're into that, you can just add buttons and like other fancy stuff, like frames. You can add images, or you can just add, for example, URLs, or you can just embed videos within these pages and boards and posts. So since we are in settings, let's go to general settings. You can choose your homepage. The homepage that we were seeing on the demo account was similar with the, exactly the same with the member homepage. But you can choose to change that. For example, if you want to create a homepage that does not include the navigation and the posts and the feed, you can just create a different page from the pages, and you can set it as a home page. And if you want to set a different home page for anonymous users, which means everyone on an incognito window, for example, you can just set a home page for anonymous users. Let's see. I'm going to choose a page, and it's going to be called home page for anonymous users. Let's say save. And let's refresh this page. So this is how it looks like, for example. So let's go back here and let's disable this and say save. Another thing that we have is access. I was talking about how certain posts were behind a membership wall, and this is a message that you're seeing, right? So you can choose what to display in here. These can be changed. And we have the connections in here, which was the part with the member directory and the city list and the country list, etc. If you want to disable any of them, you can do that. You can make this public, which means everyone can see it, or you can just put it behind a membership wall. So I need to be logged in to see these. I can also turn the messaging on and off for pretty much everyone. Let's move on to the jobs board. What we have on jobs board is 3 different jobs that are published. I have 2 in pending. If I want to create a draft, I can do that. So let's move on to directory. I was talking about special directories, for example, volunteers in the United States. This is how you create them. You choose a segment from the contact database, people with same qualities or similar qualities. For example, again, this was the board. And you can choose which filters can be used to look for these members. We also have an AppStore in here. These are the core modules that we had. I showed you all of them so far. In addition to that, we have integrations and we have Zapier. The integrations are the native integrations that we have that you can use with your Raklet account. For example, if you want to use your Zoom account with your Raklet account so you can host online events, you can just hit the enable button and enable it. If you want to, for example, use double the donation, you can also do that. We also have Zapier connection, which allows you to connect your Raklet account with more than 3,000 apps. For example, if you want to connect your contact database with the Google Sheets, so whenever you add a new person on the Google Sheets, there will be also updated on the contact database. You can definitely do that. And we have app categories in here if you are not sure what you're looking for, but if you have something in mind. So these are the main functions and features that we have. If you have more questions, we have a live bubble in here, live chat button. You can just drop us a message and we usually reply in a few minutes. And if that's a few minutes, definitely in 24 hours. We also have a collection here. So if you're looking for a question, an answer to your question about contacts, you can just go here and look for articles, which includes images, step-by-step guides, and videos. So that's all. Thank you so much for listening to us and welcome to Raklet.